Yeah. MD. JPB. It's only right, baby.
Yeah. Why you mad? I got a bad bro. Name hot in these streets, no Tabasco. But I'm so stuck, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo. Go on, run it back. You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this. Damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Hello guys, what is up? It is me, Prince of What Ifs, and I am back here with another video. Today we're gonna do What If Asta Was a Player, Part 5, finally. Yeah, sorry it took too long to do this, but here I am. I hope you don't mind the background noise, and before we get into that, let me talk about a few things. First off, I did say that it was gonna be hard for me to, talk about how to expose Asta's true demon nature, because he will become a demon, because, well, that's what the Monarch of Demons is. So, yeah, that's gonna be a little iffy, but I hope you don't mind it. I will try to make it as, realistic as possible. I'm not going to just make him announce it like some big thing and everyone's going to be fine with it, because he's a demon. That's not okay. So I'm going to have to work on that a little bit, but the series will be ending soon. I just want to close up everything. So the series will probably not be ending at part 7. So that's good for you guys. Bad news for me, though, because I have to think more about how to finish the series. But it will be good, I promise. Now, another subject, my back. Yeah, I did mess up my back a little bit while working at the gym. Don't worry, though. I'm getting better. Shout out to Headhunter's Edits, because the intro is fire as usual, so, go thank him for that. He will be in the description. Also, my Discord link is in the description, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and I hope you guys will really enjoy this. If you don't mind, yeah, let's just get right into it. So last time we started off with Asta capturing Lugner and then going to the Water Temple to get the Magic Stone. This time they actually got it, getting uninterrupted by the Eye of the Midnight Sun. And after this came the issue of when Asta gained his new skill, White Flame. This gave him the ability to manifest and manipulate a white flame, a flame so freaking pure that it can actually burn through fire magic itself. Now, after the quest where he gained this flame and this new dragon soldier, he destroyed the Diamond Mage Kingdom and in turn saved the Clover Kingdom. After this, Asta also discovered who Lake was hiding as, and then soon he got in a fight with Yami, and this motivated everyone in the Black Bulls, including Yami, to just get stronger. And yeah. He also finds out that even though he has magic, Henry can't take it away from him, the secret, member of the Black Bulls. He can't use his curse to take away his magic, which is something that the system said he was going to explain later. So, yeah. The Black Bulls then go on a quest to get stronger, specifically Vanessa, and they go to the Witch's Forest, and they fought the Diamond Mages once again, beating them, and then an army of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. Asta would then save Fauna, giving her back control of her body, and handing her over to Kruger and Mars. He then kills Ladros and then almost kills the Witch Queen, who backstabs them, and this would unlock Vanessa's fate magic, as she did not want her mother to die. So the Black Bulls went back home, and after a few days, Asta would introduce his mom to everyone, and yeah, they would then go to the festival, and there at the Magic Night Exams Awards, they would find out that the Black Bulls and Golden Dawn actually tie in points, as Asta goes up on stage and shows off Kaizo, the dragon, and he gains a bit of respect. Now, after getting some cheers and applause from the crowd, of the festival, Asta unsummons the dragon, as he and Yuno then leave the stage, going backstage, and then Julius introduces the actual king of the kingdom, who is very egoistic and very annoying. After trying to give an overwhelming speech, she would then leave, as Asta and Yuno go backstage to leave, only to find that Fuegoleon is trying to calm down Mereoleona as she scolds his squad. "You idiots, the pride of the Crimson Lions isn't something you can just afford to ruin so easily. Sister, it's my fault we've been slacking so much lately. Don't take it out on them," said Fuegoleon. "I am blaming you. Have you gotten so soft that you cannot lead your own team into battle properly?" "Oh, that's the Guildmaster. She's way more scary once you get to know her, huh?" Thanks, Asta. They would then start to head on their merry way when she would bring up training, and this only interests Yuno this time because he wants to get stronger than Asta. A training camp, huh? Interesting. Now, as he says this, Yuno would be caught by a claw made of fire, as Mereoleona would suggest that he come along as well, and Asta would say, "Have fun." Mereoleona would then throw a fire claw to catch Asta by the head, but in an instant it dissipates as Asta turns around saying, "No thank you." All of the Crimson Knights, and including Fuegoleon, would be impressed as he was able to stop her at all. Did this kid somehow get stronger? And so fast, thinks Fuegoleon. He would then step up apologizing for his sister's behavior, and he would ask, "Would you please accompany us? You are a senior magic knight." Everyone would then say, "He is?" Asta would say, "Yeah, but... and I happen to know you became an A-rank adventurer lately," says Mereoleona. He did? Asked Yuno. Why didn't you tell me? Asta would then shrug her shoulders, saying that he has to go pick up his mom, and Marileona would then ask, then why don't we get her opinion on this? What? Says Asta. We then switch to when Asta and Lichita are in front of everyone, and she says it could be fun, and she wants to come along. Leopold would then say, but, ma'am, it's gonna be dangerous. It's fine, says Asta. That's what the ogres are for. 3 ogres would then pop out over, like, out of Lichita's shadow, towering over everyone, and then they re-enter Lichita's shadow. Mom, I really don't want to do this. Well, too bad, says Lichita. I want to see what my son's like in action. It's fun. This would make Asta smile as he agrees to go to the train, but before that, Marileona gathers a few people. She brings Noelle, Charlotte, and her adopted sister Sol, and Yami. We then cut to a few hours later when everyone finds themselves at a grand magic zone, and the zone is also a volcano filled with magma and extreme heat everywhere. Asta would then touch his mom, covering her with his mana, thus protecting her from the heat. What did you just do? Thinks Marileona. She would then explain what type of training they're going to be doing, and they need to get to the top of the volcano in front of them. And at the top there is a natural hot spring where they can rest at. This also sparks Asta's interest as he grabs his mom bridal style and just carries her and disappears from the sight of everyone heading up. That kid has the right idea. Come on, get in line and go, yells Marileona. Everyone will then listen to her as the captains start using mana skin, and it interests the others who don't know how to use it yet. Now, as for Asta, he naturally doesn't need mana skin because his skin is so tough that it doesn't matter. But he can also do it if he wants because his magic control skill. Are you sure this is safe? Asked Lichita. As she asked this, she would look down being scared as Asta would get a notification. Player has increased skill level. Dominator's touch has reached max level. New skill, gravity magic. Use of skill drains MP based on the complexity of a spell. Basic spells need to drain only 10 MP. Wait, what? Gravity magic? What was that? Asked Lichita. Asta would then snap out of it saying, nothing. Mom, hold on tight. As he says this, he would then run up the volcano, and the other magic knights are still trying to catch up. I would not let myself be outdone, says Charlotte. Marileona would then overtake them all at incredible speed, thinking, come on kid, let's see you do something interesting. Now as she says this, her and the magic knight captains will be blown back by Asta's gravity magic as he applies it to himself, catapulting him way ahead of everyone and into the air, and his mom just looks down in amazement. Now if I combine my new skill with my magic control skill, then Ichita would then be expecting him to fall and panics a bit, but then she notices they're not falling and Asta is actually flying. How? Since when could you fly? Since now, says Asta. He would then slowly drop down as Yuno, who was flying up and was also sent flying back, would see this, and everyone else would as well. A rival, says Leopold. I need someone like him to get me stronger, but just how strong are you, Asta? Soon everyone would get their asses in gear and they would make it to the top, and they would see Tusk making a wall to create a place for men and ladies to bathe. Marileona, who had made it there first, would ask, an earth mage? Lichita would then answer, he has more than 5 magic attributes, isn't that amazing? But that's impossible, said Marileona. Asta would then say, well, if it's Tusk we're talking about, it's nothing much. Thank you, my lord, says Tusk. Marileona would then be impressed, not only did this kid beat her in speed, he has so much more he seems to be hiding, and his mana control is really good. It's good to know he's an adventurer as well, thinks Marileona. So soon everyone would make it to the top, and they would relax in the hot springs, and Asta would then explain how he became a senior magic knight, and he also explains him being an A-rank adventurer now. And this only motivates Yuno even more, and it also makes Fergolion cautious of his power a bit. Now, Noelle also asked about her mother from Marileona, and Lichita explained from her point of view how her son's powers work. Now, after relaxing at the hot springs for a while, this would conclude their training, and after this, the selection of the Magic Knights exams begin. After a few days later, everyone would gather up at the same Coliseum where the Magic Knights entrance exams took place, and Julius would welcome them all, introducing this year's #1 newcomer, who is Asta, and this already sets a lot of eyes on him. Asta would then think, with my sense that now being so high, I know for sure these guys are jealous. I can literally feel Julius's obsession. It's so weird. Everyone would then be getting excited, even though, some of them mostly want to beat Asta. Some of them are just in a competitive spirit. Yuno would then approach Asta, as with all the Black Bulls and Klaus as well, Mimosa, and they just start talking with everyone settling in and tell Asta that today they're going to be taking the spotlight. You ain't going to win forever. Asta would then say, I wouldn't have it any other way. You bastard, you're supposed to feel threatened, says Magna. Everyone would then laugh at this, as this is when the king once again steps out, not Julius, being really annoying, but he also explains the test that they're about to start with. So, with the help of Julius, he would explain the test, and after explaining everything, Marx uses his magic to put up a board showing the teams fighting against each other. Oh, Mimosa and I are on the same team, but who's this Zerx Rugner, thinks Asta. He then wonders who this is when he senses a new person arriving, and a red-haired man would just jump down, appearing by Julius, putting his arm over him, acting all buddy-buddy. This would piss off a lot of Magic Knights, and Marks would go to attack him, and he dodges, landing into the crowd. Who the hell are you to disrespect the Wizard King, says someone in the crowd. I'm Zerx Rugner. Nice to meet you all, and to be honest, I don't have a shred of respect for him, so don't push your values on me. Asta would then step out of the crowd saying, oh, then you're on our team. How goes it? Zerx would then just look into Asta's eyes, and putting on his magic robe, he then walked over to him and shook his hand. And when they stopped shaking hands, Asta would smile, already knowing what Zerx is trying to do. But as he opens his hands and he sees the fly that's supposed to be messing with him, it's unmoving. How did that happen? Who is this guy? Is he a noble? He definitely looks like one, thinks Zerx. Mimosa would then run up saying hi, even though she's a bit scared of Zerx, and so teams would get paired up, and a lot of them are just nobles looking to get back at Asta, and those were just like, looking to beat him because they aspire to beat him. So as the teams head out onto the stage for the Crystal Destruction Battle Tournament or whatever, the battles would commence. So Team B, being Asta, Mimosa, and Zerx, would be up against Team A, Rick, Forte, and Cardis. Let the battle begin, yells the king. Now as he says this, a magic attack would go for the crystal when Asta appears in front of the crystal, slapping it to the side. A little bit hasty, aren't you, says Asta. Wow, Asta just hit magic with his bare hands, thinks Mimosa. Asta would then start floating with his gravity magic and surprising those who were watching as he just points at the other team, and a crack echoes as Team A looks behind to see that their crystal has been destroyed. I saw him at the training camp, but to think he'd be this strong, says Forte. Forte is part of the Crimson Knights. Julius would then be on the edge of his seat, saying, he's gotten stronger once again. Asta would then land down, saying, I guess we're done for now. Zerx, get off your ass. Hey, don't get high, and Asta would then cut him off, releasing Bloodlust as he says, get up. He would then do so instinctively, being so nervous that his feet are actually shaking, and he wonders who the hell is this guy and what the hell is up with him. They would then head back to the next fight, to just wait as the next fight goes with Magna, Sol, and Kirsch going next. Kirsch is Mimosa's big brother. Now as you see, Team C goes against Team D. This is where Magna shows off his ability to make traps, and this combined with everyone else would crush the other team easily. Now as they win, Sol has a bit more respect for Magna, but Kirsch just keeps being himself, but he does admit that his tactics were beautiful. Now when they return back to everyone, this is when Kirsch and Mimosa start fighting, and he then turns to notice Asta looking up into the sky, just like, just up into the sky, and he thinks, too beautiful. Now Mimosa would then blush agreeing with him, but she says nothing, and then the next fight comes up with Fenrir being on Team E, going up against Team F. This is a huge moment, as when the fight starts, he activates an item, the item that Asta gave him. He runs ahead with this team catching up with their magic, and they easily take care of the other two teammates. Now, as they're chasing the last person who's protecting the crystal, this is when the mage would hear a crack as a punch lands in his face, and it was Fenrir who did this, breaking through the crystal and also punching him in the face. Fernand's team would then stop as Leopold is impressed. Wow, why don't you fight like that more often? Asks Leopold. I don't know, says Fernand. He would then hold his fist in pain because that was crystal and he hit it with his hands. Even if he does have a bit of super strength now, it still hurts. But of course he is very happy that he's finally stepping up and stepping out of his comfort zone. So his team wins. Now Langris, who saw this, would be pissed. There is no way that's my brother. He would then actually be up next on Team C, fighting against Team H. I hope I'm getting these teams right. He would then dominate the battle and then walk up to his big brother saying that he was going to crush him. However, Fenrir doesn't even flinch as he smiles, hitting his chest as he says, I couldn't care less, feel free to bring it on. Langris would then be a bit more mad but welcomes this challenge as he believes that no one like Fenrir can beat him. Now as Asta sees this, he does not interfere because he's happy that Fenrir is finally stepping up, and it's not his place to, get in their family quarrels unless it actually directly affects him. Now however, this is when he sees Langris just stare him down, which interests him as he thinks, let's see what you do next, Langris. So the fifth match would begin with the captain of the Awkward Deer actually being in one of them, and then after everyone settles in and takes this in and actually accept him being part of the battles, Asta meets his butler and he would be offered tea, which he drinks, and it was delicious. Julius would also allow him to fight because you can't deny Dill. He's an adorable little fella, so why not? So he completely dominates, and then the sixth match is up with Luck, Klaus, and Polly fighting team members of the Silver Eagles. But even with their team being like high rank or whatever the hell, with the help of everyone, this is when Luck's magic and fighting ability really shines through, and they win way faster, shocking everyone. Then it is Noel, Yuno, and then Unregard from the Green Mantis, who looks like he's about to barf every time he talks. And they're fighting, Solid. But this time when she meets Solid, she's way more calm. Damn it, just because of that commoner, she thinks she's better than me, thinks Solid. The vice captain is, from the Golden Dawn, is also on the same team as Solid, and he's also looking forward to beating Yuno because he's jealous. The third member doesn't matter. So when the fight starts, instantly Yuno and Noel are being targeted, and actually Solid is carrying the crystal, if I'm not wrong. So as the vice captain starts attacking, he creates a giant night golem made of sand, and Solid is just launching water spears at Noel because it's kind of his thing. And Unregard would support and mock Solid. He would support Noel and mock Solid for being a horrible brother. And instantly, she pulls out the water dragon, which is way bigger than before, and she obliterates Solid. Meanwhile, Yuno creates a tornado inside of the vice captain's sand golem and destroys it immediately, like just shocking everyone. Whatever issues you have don't matter to me. There's someone way stronger I'm trying to beat in this exam, says Yuno. And after hitting Solid with her attack, Noel also breaks the crystal he was protecting, making them win. These matches would break the vice captain and Solid as they get taken away for their injuries, and this time Yuno actually hurts him a lot. And Yuno would come face to face with Asta. Now that was monumental, says Asta. They would then smile at each other, with Charmy kind of passing out, seeing, two hot boys so close to each other. It's like a freaking BL or some crap. And then it was time for Asta's team once again. They would be facing Sol, Magna, and Kirsch. However, the field would change a bit more, and this time it excites Asta. Now, as the match begins, Kirsch fills the entire area with Sakura. Sakura's, it's like pink blossoms or whatever. And he also creates Sakura clones. However, Asta would use a new spell, as using gravity magic, he blows away all the Sakura specifically. You better think of something new, yells Asta, and then starts rushing forward, as Sol is thinking, who the hell is this guy? However, as she asks this, Asta is already nearing them with Zeus and Mimosa following behind. He would then take out Baruka's dagger as he passes by a shocked Kirsch, cutting him and paralyzing him as he moves on. The king would then ask what Asta just did. That is confidential, I'm afraid, answers Julius. This would piss off the king, but he really does want to know about Asta just used. Asta would then step on the ground, and when he's running, and a fire geyser would just shoot out, but he would appear past Magna, slashing and paralyzing him as well. Then he would punch the crystal, breaking it in one punch, with Sol not being able to stop him. He would then look back at Mimosa and Zeus, who would arrive exhausted, as Zeus would say, "You regular bastard, would you slow down?" Asta then apologizes for that, and so that match is ended, and at this point, everyone is just scared of Asta because I can't really describe how he used the gravity magic to blow away the Sakuras. If I could draw it, I would. He destroyed everything within like a mile radius. It would be crazy if he actually had magic like that gravity magic I'm giving him now. You'll get the point. You get the point. He's fucking scary. His uses magic is just, he doesn't even look exhausted. That's what scares them most. Everyone would then be murmuring, he's like a magic knight captain. Yeah, it's true. How the hell is he a mage? His punches look really painful. And then next up would be Finral's team versus Langris's, and things go as in the original. However, this time Finral does not only help the team, but also combats Langris as well, and they go back and forth for a while, and he would actually land multiple punches on Langris, and even teleports Seke away using his new technique, even more efficiently this time. However, Finral is mostly relying on his bracelet, and in the end, he does not win, and he ends up on the ground battered, but he's less hurt this time. Now, when Langris does go a little crazy, this time he's not showing off that demonic aura because I don't really see the point of showing that in, but he does go a little crazy. But before Langris goes too far and tries to kill his brother, in an instant, he is surrounded by Black Bull members who threaten to kill him. However, Asta actually goes along with it and grabs Langris by the neck, cursing him and locking his magic. He'd be trying to activate it, thinking, how is this possible? He would then be hit in the face and then hit again and again and again and again until Asta throws him on the ground, crushing him with his gravity magic. Magna would then yell, Asta, stop, Finral wouldn't want this. However, Asta doesn't stop, and he just senses something and he just disappears as an orb of blue color appears, and he was supposed to be trapped by Julius's magic, but he actually avoided it very easily. And he would just reappear somewhere else and appear a few feet away. Julius and the medics would then appear on the scene as some start healing Finral. Why did you stop me? Asked Asta. Because you don't want to act like him, do you? Besides, you're letting out a lot of bloodlust, which is affecting the participants, including myself. Asta then notices everyone shaking a little bit as he calms down, walking over to Langris and forcefully feeding him a potion. This would instantly heal him as he gets up, saying, a high-level potion? Where did you get that? He then looks up to see Asta shrouded in shadow as he looks back at Langer, saying, "Next time you make a blunder like that, your head goes flying, and even he won't be able to save you. Be glad your brother is far more kind than you are." Saying this, Asta points at Julius, who's slightly sweating, and he leaves, and the other Black Bulls calm him down, saying that Funeral's going to be fine, because at this point, everyone at the Black Bulls know that when someone Asta cares about gets hurt, or is about to get hurt, he loses himself a lot. So, it's like another person goes at the wheel, and he's just gone. I might be called the Wizard King, but this kid, he's something else. He just dodged my attack. That hasn't happened since. He would then remember fighting Licht as we then moved on to the other matches. Ultimately, Luck's team would lose to the Aquadeer, and then Asta's team would destroy the Aquadeer using Tusk, uses Heim of Gigantification, and a bunch of other spells, having just leaving no room for like Asta's teammates to do much in this battle. And then it comes to the match of Yuno's team against Asta's. Now, when Asta beats Dill, it was a huge deal because he did it with ease, and he doesn't even look tired, which cemented that he was at the level of a Magic Knight captain. Now, as the fight starts, both Asta and Yuno fly up, away from their team. "Now it's your time, you two. Show them what you're made of," says Asta. "Don't order me around," yells Xerx. He and Mimosa would then finally have a real battle as the two teams close in, and we go up to Asta and Yuno in the sky as the amount of magic density surrounding them is so great that it's causing sparks. "This is what I live for," thinks Julius. Yuno would then say, "So, you've gotten even stronger." "But you still won't beat Yuno," yells Bell. "You weirdo, because he's way stronger than you now." "Is that so?" says Asta. "Well, come on, show me what you're made of." Yuno would then enter a spirit dive form as Asta is covered just with shadows, and they rush at each other with Yuno creating a sword of wind. And as Asta brings out Rasaka's Fang, they would clash, and there was a huge and great thump heard as all the attention is just diverted to them. The boys would just keep going back and forth, smiling as if it had been so long since they actually fought. They haven't fought in a while. However, when it comes to fighting, Asta easily outclasses Yuno, as even with the protection of Bell, he appears. Asta appears above Yuno and just slams a punch straight down in his head, sending him cratering into the ground. Sorry about the mumbling and the stuttering. I know you guys don't like that shit. I don't like it either. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Anyway, as this happens, this is when Noelle unveils her Valkyrie armor and surprises everyone. And Asta would land, being so proud because he actually helped her attain that form. But he has no time to think as a ray is sent at him and he blocks it with his gravity barrier. "That's new. Now let me show you what I just made up." He makes his blade disappear, and he gets in a punching stance. Yuno would then feel his magic rise through the roof, as he's practically paralyzed by it, and so is everyone else. Yuno still manages to shoot a massive ray, the most massive ray he can at Asta. However, everyone then sees this dome of purple just cover him and Yuno as Asta whispers, "Mana Zone. Pinpoint." Asta would then punch forward, splitting Yuno's ray as Yuno just gets hit in the stomach so hard that he's sent flying across the field and crashes into a mountain and through it. At the same time, Xerx would have just shattered a crystal by finally reflecting an attack, which no one expected because he hasn't shown his magic up to this point. So with this, Asta's team would win as Julius quickly teleports the medics to, help be fixed up. "What he just used," says Julius. "That was definitely." We then go to Asta as he looks at his hand and it's steaming like hell. Like he just he just punched too hard. "I might have gone too far," says Asta. "I almost pulled out the white flame. I would have actually killed him. But I can't afford to go easy on my rival after all." Now, after the match is over, Asta visits Yuno at the hospital, and as he enters, he sees a doctor working his magic. This doctor would be Owen. Asta would then say, "Hey." Bell would then get mad, rushing at Asta and hitting him, only for Asta to just feel nothing. It feels like little taps to him, but he does find it adorable. "Why would you hurt him? He's your best friend or whatever, right? What's wrong with you?" yells Bell. Yuno would then say, "Stop it. I'm glad he took me seriously. How can I be the Wizard King if I can't even beat him?" Owen, who was the healer, would then say, "Well, you certainly did a number on him. His internal organs and bones are completely messed up. He can't really move." "Don't apologize, Asta. Besides, don't you have one of those potions or something?" "Potion? Only nobles have the high-grade one," says Owen. Asta would then pull out a red potion, shocking Owen as he asks Asta if he can expect it. Asta then lets him as he says that according to the dungeon lore, red potions are something so rare that if you have one, it means that you're set for life, because it's a lot of money and it can heal any wound. "What? That cost me like 3,000 in the store. Maybe I should start a business." "Are you sure you want to use this?" asked Owen. Asta would then say, "I have a bunch more, don't worry." Owen would then be shocked to hear this, and he feeds the potion to Yuno, who would then get not only better, but he also gains a bit more magic as he stands up feeling better than ever. See you in our next match then, buddy, says Asta, and then he disappears, leaving the room as Belle is just checking on Yuno, and Owen would then say that Asta is really mysterious for a kid. To me, he's still the same old Asta, just a little cooler, thinks Yuno. So a few days would pass as we see Asta just sitting down cross-legged as he's reading a newspaper next to Yami, who was sitting exactly like him. They look so similar, it's scary, says Magna. Magna would say this to Luck as he and him would then just laugh, and like them, everyone else in the Black Bulls is just chilling, doing their own thing, when a blast would just burst through their door and in walks Marileona. Hey, whereas she would then be cut off by Asta, who puts bloodlust on her, saying, "Is that the only way you know how to enter a room, lady? That's Miss Marileona to you, you little shit." She would then be pinned down by gravity, unable to do anything, and everyone just backs away slowly as Yami is just chuckling, saying, "You should have just apologized, the kid hates being bothered." Asta would then start walking towards her as he holds her up, and for some reason, she just can't use her magic. This isn't your house. You can't just waltz in and out whenever you feel like it. You got it? You got it? Yes! Now let me down. You're crushing my spine, says Marileona. Asta would then do so as she stands up, cracking her, breaking and cracking her back in. And she's not an immature person, so she's not going to start a fight. And she apologizes, so. Asta would then ask why she's here. "We're going to storm a dungeon," says Marileona. What dungeon are the Black Bulls going to storm? How is the Eye of the Midnight Sun doing? And when we finally find out the truth about the system, find out in the upcoming parts, this is where our story stops for today. I've been Prince of What Ifs, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.